Hey guys, it's Jouelzy, and let's get right into how do I feel about living in Dallas. This is a question that I get a ton, mostly because people have watched my how's living in Houston video, and then my DC living video has gone viral and still gets a ton of comments till this day. So people are mostly interested in how does Dallas compare to Houston. Now, I did both my DC and Houston video after living in both of those cities around a year, and I've only been in Dallas since March, so coming right around the 9-month mark. My opinion thus far on Dallas is that my favorite part of Dallas is the airport. To be honest, I have absolutely positively not devoted much, if any, time in the community and building relationships. It's just been a very tumultuous year, and I've been dealing with a whole lot, and currently, in my current state, I'm spent like 100%. And I think a lot of what I experienced in Houston has impacted my desire to like get out and try to meet people in Dallas, in that I mean, I've been having rough years for like the past 4 or 5 years of my life. The universe is like conspiring against me. It just wants to waste all my time. But on the social front in Houston, I did make a very honest effort to try and build relationships, to try and make friends. And I realized that one, I don't really want new friends. Not that I don't want new friends or I'm not open to new friends, but that I don't want to have to go through the bullshit of like learning whether a person's trustworthy or not, of opening yourself up, of the dramatics. I don't want to have to go through the building expectations phase. I just don't want to go through the work of the friendship, because in Houston, I availed myself to certain people, and that's how I got the story time I did a Gemini video. It was such a high level of like soap opera level drama where I had people that, like, because I'm a YouTuber and because this is what I do full time, people that didn't have anything better to do with their time. And I think that's been the consistent theme. People that have nothing better to do with their time than to try and manipulate situations with me to turn it into a soap opera. And I literally keep just picking myself up and walking away. The last situation where somebody posted my address on the internet and I was getting like harassed. It's a lot for me to now think that I'm gonna go back into that space where I'm trying to build relationships. I actually don't want to try. You know, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I traveled quite a bit more this year as well, so I literally was at the airport pretty often. I live in downtown Dallas. I like my apartment a lot. I've started to decorate, though I haven't finished. My apartment's kind of a mess, which is why you always see this little bit of frame, girl. If I went it out any further. For the most part, I like the location. I do like that Dallas has a light rail. It's pretty accessible as long as you're staying in the Dallas area or going to the airport. Hanging out where the black people live here, aside from going to like the Wings Day stuff, black folks don't really hang out in downtown Dallas. I don't see black people too often, which would probably be my biggest complaint about Dallas, is it is very white. The black people all live in like the suburbs of Dallas, like Carrollton, Addison, Plano, Denton. Like Denton is not close. Like why do you live there? Why? Even the black neighborhoods that are in Dallas proper, they're not very densely populated. So lack of having a car makes accessing the black community a little bit more difficult. The one thing I will say in the comparison between Dallas and Houston, I don't miss Houston, but I will say Houston definitely has better food. Hands down, there really is no contest. Every time I go out to eat, I'm just like, I don't want a burger. A lot of white-owned restaurants, so it's a lot of new American style hamburgers, pizza, Italian food options, and I really miss the seafood selection. Like Shell Shack is not, girl, no. And there's like deep sushis, I can walk to it from my house, and I'm also like, you know, it's cute, but it's not loaded seafood. Like, let me get my loud pack. I would drive back to Houston just for my loud pack. You know, the tacos are good. I guess, you know, tacos are my favorite food. Tacos@jouelzy.com is my email. Fuel City is trash. I don't know what people's taste buds is on, but I have found some like decent tacos in the area, but that's pretty much it. The food selection in Dallas isn't bad. It's just not as expansive or as eclectic or as ethnic. That's the only thing I miss. Feel overall, from the little bit that I have hung out, that if I did put some effort into socializing and having a more outwardly positive aura about myself. It's just been easier, and I don't know if that's because KG Lifestyle lives here, and so she's really involved in Dallas, and so, you know, I've met people through her, but I have seen more of like the over 28 crowd that's grown and not into the super club type vibe, versus in Houston, a lot of the people that I knew either were young or really, really into the club scene or really, really into the church scene. Now, we are still in Texas. If you want to meet people, it is still the gym, church. Urban League here is a little bit more popping than the Houston chapter of Urban League, and group meets. And I have honestly enjoyed the times that I have put a true, genuine effort into having a good time. And my friends come to visit and they all have loved it. So now I know people are gonna ask me, they're thinking about moving. Can I give them some tips? Is it a good idea? Should they move to Dallas or Houston, depending on what they're into? And to be honest, I have absolutely no tips that are specific to you moving from one city to another. If I could possibly do a video on tips about moving to a new city, moving and the ability to navigate and flourish in a city really depends on so many things that are so personal to the individual, that in order for you to know whether or not you want to move, you need to go visit. And you need to reach out to people who are working in the same environments and same career fields and have the same interests and the same age group and the same religion and the same type of lifestyle as you do. And don't necessarily ask them if it would be a good move for you. I ain't got kids, I work for myself, I'm fine. Like, I'm gonna be fine wherever I go. Let me know in your comments down below. Have you lived in Texas? What city in Texas is your favorite? And if you visited both Dallas and Houston, which one do you think is better? And what's your reason why? All right, talk at you later. Happy New Year's. Deuces.